What's up? I would like to take this opportunity to share a little bit on healing. However, when we talk about healing, there's something that we really want to touch base on, which is also, to me, is extremely important, which is the topic here, the importance of canceling the karmic contracts. So, when we do healing, most of the time, this is how I perceive it. When you have a physical pain, physical illness, right? We'll work on that. If it's a physical problem only, without any emotional components, which is really rare, because for the most part, when we get hurt, we tend to have emotions. You cannot just tell yourself to shut off the emotions. So if somebody hit me, I'm gonna be ouch. Then I will feel the pain at the same time. It will elicit some of my emotions. Okay? It's just kind of part of the whole thing. It's how I call it, like buy one get one free, like a BOGO. So when you get hurt, you don't just get hurt on the physical level. Emotional level, you get affected. Okay, by the action, by the injury. Okay, same goes to when people who are very abusive, they say something to you. Sometimes it's not just affecting you on an emotional level or mental level. It also can have an impact on your physical level. It can go either way. Okay, now when we talk about healing, if we're just focusing on the symptoms, which are what I talk about, if I hurt my arm, I'll do energy work on your arm, right? If you hurt your head or you have migraine, you have headache, I focus on your pain, right? Your headache. If there's an emotional component, we can work on that, because without removing the emotional component, then the physical pain highly possibly will come back. That's what happened to a lot of people when they have a physical injury at the time. For example, like a car accident, you have a injury due to a car accident. Then most of the time when I talk to my clients, I will realize that not only there's an incident happened that took place that injure and damage, part of the body. Okay, whether you really broke a piece of bone, or you have some other internal injuries. So regardless, most people would tell me during that time they're going through some very heavy duty emotional turmoil. Okay, and so what happened is that most of the time when people trying to take care of the physical injury, they will be well for a little while, and then eventually that problem will come back. So it comes back because of the emotional component has not been addressed. So it is important to understand that the layers of healing, we have to be able to recognize what we are working on. We can symptomatically working on that physical injury by itself. Sure, it will work. If you have a stomach ache, knowing that you have to deal with long-term stress, anxiety, the chances are I can make you feel better for this very moment, and I know it's gonna come right back. Why? Because your emotional component's still there. Like what fuels, what trigger, or what give in the energy to create that physical manifestation, it's still there. So until we work on that part. Now, however, when we talk about emotional component, most of the time we just look at like what exactly happening right now, or last couple days, last couple months, or last couple years, right? So things get piling up and then eventually create a bigger physical health problem. Okay. So for most people, when we work on the emotional component, we are very focusing on the now, which is fine. But again, this is kind of like a big debate, I believe, in the community when we talk about healing or even a hypnotherapy, or when we talk about what kind of things we can help with people who have PTSDs, for example. Okay, we don't want to rehash the client. We don't want to trigger that client to revisit or relive what happened in the past, right? We can go around it without addressing the original trauma, right? Emotional trauma. We don't have to do that. But again, we have other ways to be able to go around the core problem and release it. In other words, sometimes it's very painful to go back to the original event that causes problem now. I'm talking about could be this lifetime or other lifetimes. I am very bluntly to put it out here in this video is because I've seen too often that people will have been working on themselves very proactively, do the due diligence and work through their emotional problems on a regular basis. But there's the one particular layer which is on the deeper level, which is something has nothing to do with this current lifetime. Okay, whatever they know, they're aware of, they release all those emotional trauma right there, right? Just for what they can recall in this lifetime. But when they forget about something else that carry forward to this lifetime, your mind, it's pretty powerful computer. The memory stays there. So if we have good memories, awesome, that just be, in general, good memories always produce some good benefits, right? We want to gain the wisdoms from our past, from our experiences, and we want to carry it forward so that we can be wiser, we can make better decisions, we can be a better human being. That's the whole point. But when there are not so great experiences and memories, and we carry forward with, and we add on to our own internal library, it's just getting more and more problematic thought patterns, limiting beliefs. Now, that will become very hindering to our progress to become successful, happy, joyful, and be able to fulfill our purpose, right? So, karmic contracts is a big topic. I have seen a lot of people have been talking about how to cancel it. There are different ways to cancel it. Let me tell you, this is coming from my personal experience. It just happened yesterday. That's why I want to talk about this real quick. I have this incident that I was dealing with, nothing too major, but I couldn't really help what it's causing this hiccup or disharmony dynamic, right? But because I have been really working on cutting cords and canceling contracts with every single human being that I come across. When the soul groups come back together to do some other good work, helping each other out, helping each soul to evolve and grow and go beyond, most of the time we have the karmic ties. That's why we come back together. We just play different roles. So, what happened is, yesterday when I was working on this particular individual, I feel like, well, something's still not quite all the way. Doing healing work, that's easy enough. Something else got stuck. So, instinctively, because I've been doing the canceling contracts, I was like, you know what? Even though this is not a major problem, but somehow I feel so stuck on, perhaps there's some karmic thing going on that got me stuck on, won't necessarily be able to work through this individual all the way through. Energy is not flowing all the way through. There's still some heaviness to it, right? So all I have to do, it's this simple. I said that in my mind when I was in that space doing the healing, and I just simply acknowledged the fact that whatever the karmic contracts between me, my soul, and this soul, on core level, genetic level, history level, and soul level. Whatever those contracts are in co-creating this problem that we are witnessing and experiencing right now, I completely, wholeheartedly release it, let it go, and the contracts are now completely voided and nullified. And that's exactly what I did. That one blah 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 blah. The key thing is I acknowledge and I declare to the universe that the contracts, the karmic contracts, are now completely void and nullified permanently, and send all those energies back to the source and transform that energy into a higher frequency, into the expansion of the collective consciousness. All I have to do was just that one simple intention in my head. I didn't say it out loud, I said it in my mind. Instantaneously, at that moment, I let go and cancel that contract. Well, technically it's contracts, not just one. When we come back to see the people that we're seeing, most likely we have seen them many, many lifetimes. So, just FYI. That contracts releasing, canceling, that instant moment, that between me and that individual, that energy, the heaviness, the dense, heavy energy just completely got cut off, severed. Boom. And all those energies just I am sharing everything that I do. I purposely sharing my own experience because I am no master. I am as much as learning as everybody else. When I say learning, meaning we are finding our own way to understand how this universe works and who we are in relationship with the universe, which is very simple. We are part of the creation. We are part of the divine force. We are part of the collective consciousness. Whether you choose to believe it or not, it doesn't matter. It still happens. Whether you choose to believe the earth is spinning around, it doesn't matter. The earth will not stop spinning just because you don't believe it. How the energy works will not stop or alter the route, the way it works, the way we were designed, just because you don't want to believe it. Always keep that in mind. And so my intention on One Love One Mind is always about sharing my own experience, my own journey, as much as people posting their videos on how and what they do to lose weight, 200 pounds, 300 pounds, what kind of regimen they're using. I am just talking about energy healing, how to be able to help us, help myself, to set myself free so that I can be genuinely being the loving being that I was intended and created to be, which is the unconditional love, that infinite love that we all have. I'm no special. I'm exactly the same as all of you who are watching this video today. And when we're able to recognize it, embrace it, and allow ourselves to be able to be in alignment and feel that love, magical things happen. And the loving energy is the most powerful thing that we can harness because that is part of who we are. And when we choose to take the leap of faith and really dive in deeper and connect to the energy, then you will start to see healing can be done very quickly, no matter how deep-seated old root cause of the emotional pain that we talk about. It doesn't matter how many lifetimes that we talk about the karmic debts. It doesn't matter how complicated the situation may be perceived to be. It doesn't matter. It works. It works as soon as we're allowing ourselves to feel the deep, deep, infinite divine love. And once we're able to be in this energy and becoming that energy again, and that is what we call being in alignment with the divine, with God. And at that instant, the power within you, it's unimaginable. It's massive. It's abundant of joy and love, and that healing power is immeasurable. That's no words for it. And it does it beautifully, peacefully, in the most loving way. And that is something that I must share with all of you, to know that this person is not really crazy. You may call me crazy, and that's okay. It's not going to hurt my feeling. But I'm asking for those of you, if my message really resonates with you, for those of you who have been feeling really lost, feeling being bombarded by a lot of energies from other people, empaths. All empaths are usually really wide open and absorbing everybody's energy, and got mixing in with your own that you don't even know or how to identify. Is it my own thoughts? Is it my feelings? Why am I feeling sad all of a sudden? My life is good today. What's wrong with that? Because you pick up on people's energy. Now here's the kicker. For us being empaths, when we are able to identify and recognize, I don't think this is my energy. I think I pick up on somebody else's energy. And when you chose to do something greater than yourself, at the very moment, all you have to do is simply in your mind set this: I'm sorry for this person who has to suffer what I'm feeling right now. And because I love all souls, all human beings, regardless if they are crazy or not, I recognize we are all oneness. And I chose to send this gift and send this healing to this person by helping this person to release and let go all those karmic imprints and also the karmic contracts for them. This is the most powerful gift. Let me say it one more time. This is the most powerful gift we can give to everyone on this planet Earth. Even for the people who have done a lot of evil things, especially for them. Because these people are not capable of being able to see what they're truly doing, because they're so got caught up and blindsided. And when we're able to do more and step up on the plate and be a bigger heart, and coming from the loving space without any judgment, and do this for them, you'll be surprised you can shift that energy in that individual or individuals. Even that situation that we don't like to see right now, we can do it together and shift that. I remember I used to like to say SHIT very often. That's just part of the vocabulary as being a sailor since I was in the Navy. But now I tend to say SHIFT. Let's just shift it. How can I shift it? Get into the space where you can completely feel the infinite love. And you can feel it. It's not just in one part of your body, you can feel it all over you. Then you can just do that by setting the intention for yourself, for your current situation, for your coworker, for your spouse, for your children, for anybody. And just simply to do that in a loving way. With the pure intention. I'm sorry you suffer so much, that you're so angry. I would like you to be able to smile and let go of this garbage because it's too heavy. And I feel it because I'm an empath. So since I'm able to feel how you feel and what you're suffering, I'm here to help you to release and alleviate that suffering. That is the utmost important thing for all of us as light workers, regardless what you do, what kind of occupation that you do. This is part of the thing that we can do for the people around us. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I hope this is not too long. And I truly find it so powerful, so simple. Powerful yet simple. Sometimes it could be so simple that people don't think it works. It works when we truly put into the space, like into the focus on being our authentic self, being in an alignment with the divine, with our higher self. When we chose to do that, just to try it, just to try. I don't like that word try, but here I'll just kind of invite you to give it a shot. Those of you who are very, very intuitive, who are so wide open and sensitive to energy, do that. There's a reason why we are empaths. We're empaths because our souls chose to be here to help those people who are not capable of healing on their own, and we can do it and set them free without them knowing what's truly going on, but be able to help alleviate that without draining our energy. So that will be the next topic. I don't want to make this video too long. There is no such thing of energy vampire. I'm sorry for those people and teachers. Many teachers talk about protecting your energy or not. When we are plugged in to the infinite source constantly, I'm guilty, I'm not constantly, but I'm becoming more aware to stay plugged in. But let me remind everybody here who are listening today, when we are plugged in to the infinite source, when we truly embrace and believe what we talk about, we have to believe in what we preach. And I'm not preaching, I'm just simply stating the fact. If there's a God, which there is a higher power, let's just call it, the divine, the Holy Spirit, with this whole beautiful energy all around us, in us, when we truly plugged in, and we know it is abundant source of energy, infinite source of energy, how can it be possibly be drained, be depleted? It's impossible. How can we deplete the Creator? How can we do that? It's impossible. So it's a matter of to know how to not to be drained. Even when we have to do the energetic shielding, which I talk about for so many years, and I help people who are very intuitive and psychic readers and healers and social workers, caregivers, we talk about like shielding. That's one way to do it, which is fine. It's kind of like I need to, put on an extra jacket when I'm cold. And that's okay. That's nothing wrong with it. But knowing there's a deeper layer of the truth, there's something even more powerful and stays stronger and more durable and giving you more strength and focus and grounded and everything else, is when we're able to stay plugged in to the source of energy, which is the infinite love. And when you're doing work from that, you cannot be drained. It doesn't matter how messed up that person's energy is so low. It doesn't matter, because it won't affect you. You may temporarily, rarely, sorry, can't even say that word properly right now, feel that particular person's like pain, whatever, emotions, but it's gonna go away because that infinite energies keep coming in. It won't stop. It won't just be like, oh, keep coming in. At some point, just like it shuts off. Divine doesn't shut off. We shut off up here. Our brain, our ego. Sometimes the ego get hurt so much for so many lifetimes, and the ego just speaks so loud to make us think that the divine energy will shut off. The divine energy never shuts off because it's infinite. If you don't believe there's an infinite source, then yes, there's no discussion whatsoever, because this whole thing will be meaningless right now. You should not be watching this if you don't even believe there's an infinite source of divine or God or creator. Right? You won't be listening to this bullshit. Just saying. Anyways, until next time, and I will talk about something else, I guess, since I already touched on the energy vampire nonsense. When we're not in alignment, anything can drain our energy because we're using our limited source of energy. Of course, it's gonna go empty eventually at some point. If we don't replenish our energy, we're gonna get depleted. It's a simple fact. But when you plug into the infinite source, you have this force, this connection, constantly drawing infinite sources. You don't have to worry about when the field will be over. It won't. It's constantly supplying you. Then how can you be depleted? Just remember that. Until next time, talk to you guys later. Have a good week. Bye.